Yo, what up, Switch leaders? Hope you're doing well this week. Probably wondering why I'm still wearing the glasses. That's because we've had a big week so far. But you may want to bring these tomorrow night because Switch is gonna be lit. Yes, corny jokes coming your way. But in all seriousness, I'm super excited about tomorrow night to see us just run into the semester. Students are going to be fired up. I know you are too. And so just want to give you a couple of quick details and thoughts so that you can be set up to win with your students tomorrow night. This whole semester is Don't Be Different Alone. We're called to be different, but we're also called to be different with other people in community. And so that's tomorrow night. We're going to study Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, the guys that were thrown into the fiery furnace because they were sold into Babylonian culture. Culture wanted them to bow to certain gods and to kings, and they refused. They wanted to be different, and that led them to the furnace. And they were different, okay, but they weren't different alone. They were different together. And so that's what we're going to lead students to do, is to stand out in this culture, to be different, to love Jesus, and to worship Him and Him alone whenever culture calls us to worship many other gods, but we know we can't do it by ourselves. So we're going to lead them to their switch groups, into community, and more than anything, we're going to lead students to Christ tomorrow night. It's going to be really exciting. And so that's what your small group discussion is going to be based around. We're going to be bringing excellence with our experience. But I also want to give some clarity on just what's going on with the future youth pastor and all that. We still don't have a set decision yet. We have some things in the works, but we have not come there yet to a final conclusion. So you're probably wondering, okay, what is this going to look like the next few weeks? And so tomorrow night, I will be there because some of the students don't know yet that I've transitioned into life groups. And so I will be the youth pastor tomorrow night, and then I will announce that at the end of the service that I've made that transition. And so I will be your go-to guy tomorrow night, and then we will every week in an email, just like we send every week, you need to be checking your email. We will be giving you the lineup of who is running the service. But at the end of the day, you have your coaches and you have your pre-experienced leader. Those are your go-tos, and we will be communicating with them. And so as long as they are communicated with, you should know what's going on also. So just if you have any questions, look for your coach, look for your pre-experienced leader, and they should be able to help you out, okay? Now, you're also maybe wondering, what is that going to look like tomorrow whenever you announce it and all the students are just needing Kleenexes and crying and they're going nuts? Just so you know, that's probably not going to happen. The way I've led Switch is based on you. Everything points to you, the leader. And so the way this thing's designed is there's probably not going to be a whole lot of that, because as long as they still have their small group leader, then these students are going to be peachy keen. They're going to be happy. In fact, they may not even realize it. We may even have to guard against some of them celebrating. So that's okay with me, because you guys, it sets you up to win. And so in the event that maybe there's a student that doesn't understand or whatever, I would say this. However you, the leader, choose to lead this thing, that's how your students will follow. If you lead with positivity and, man, we are excited, we believe that the best is yet to come for Switch, because I wholeheartedly do believe that, then guess what? Your students, they're going to get on board. And maybe they ask questions, well, why is he leaving? And he's not leaving. Josh is just going 40 yards across the lobby to be the life groups pastor, so he's still going to be around. And it's all about the way you choose to lead this thing. If you choose to speak well of me, and that this is what God wanted and this is His will, and we believe that God is sending the right person, man, guess what? They're going to be okay, because you're still in their circle leading that group. And so, man, lead that with positivity. Another thing you may be thinking about, well, I built some chemistry with my group, and I've built some trust, and now, we've got some new leaders stepping in, and they're going to be number twos. So how should we lead through that? Because I don't want walls to go back up. It's a really good thought. That's true. Time builds trust. Consistency builds trust. So if you are a new leader, I want you to know that your impact, it is going to matter. It starts tomorrow night, but it's going to take some time to build trust. However, if you are a returning leader and you are welcoming someone new in your group, I would say the same thing. However you choose to lead these students, that's the way they're going to respond. So if you got to understand, you've spent time with these students and time has built trust. So whatever you say, man, they're going to buy into it. You could tell them to go jump out of a tree and most of them would probably listen to you because they trust you. Same thing with a new leader. If in that circle, the first thing you do is set this new leader up of, hey, I want you guys to welcome so-and-so. They're going to be one of our small group leaders this year. I can promise you, because they trust you, man, you're handing equity to the new leader. And so the way you choose to lead all of this transition and this new stuff, man, that's the way students will respond. And you got to remember, you're not a facilitator, you're not a babysitter, you're not their best friend, you are their leader. God has called you to step in and lead, not just in the spiritual things, but in the way things are happening at our church. In every area of their life, you have to have the mentality that I'm going to lead these students to think a certain way. And so, man, that's how I want to encourage you guys tomorrow night. It's kind of like a football season. You don't start out at championship caliber level. So you know what? There may be some things walking away from tomorrow night that we need to tighten up. I want you to know that's okay. It's not huge pressure for us to win the Super Bowl tomorrow night. The win is, can we bring our best? And can we be filled with the Holy Spirit? Can we be ready to step in and build relationships with these students and give these students memories at Switch that they'll remember forever? If we can do those things, everything else is going to work out, okay? So I want you guys to know I love you. I'm still thinking nothing but the best for this semester. I'm more confident than ever that students are going to have an incredible experience every single week, and that God is going to bring that perfect leader to lead you guys. Until then, we're going to keep on filling the holes. We're going to keep on filling in. And if you have any questions, then you know that you can still always reach out to me or your coaches, preferably your coaches, because they will know as much as I do. Okay? So I love you, and I want you to always remember that whoever finds God finds life. See you tomorrow night.